Hello, I'm back again. Hi, hi, hi. We are back with Stephan Stearns. How's my sound? Somebody, I think I was saying said I was too loud, so I fixed it, but I hope it's better. Let me know. Let me know. Long Monday, we covered Hayden Pantier case, or well, situation in Lindsay Clancy in the last live. I know today was day 14 of Lindsay Clancy, so I might want to catch up on that late tonight. Don't know who will be up. I didn't say you were allowed. Oh, somebody did. I thought. Anyways, let me know if the audio is good. We are going to be covering Stephan Stearns. If you're not familiar with who that is, he is the predator that unalived Madeline Soto. Does everyone know who that is? Are we good? Unfortunately, there's a channel by the name of Allegedly Speculating is the name. And apparently this girl has been communicating with pig vomit, disgusting Stephan Stearns. Listen, I get it, like clout views, okay, fine, whatever. But taking it to this extreme where you're flirting and talking with someone who unalived a young teenage girl and raped her since she was like 6, 7 years old is disgusting. Really? I don't know who this channel is. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do a disclaimer, like, I don't know who it is. I don't care to know who it is. I don't think that person should be getting any views or support, but I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Um, but the fact that you're uh, how many charges does Stephen Stern has? Like 72 molestation charges? I'm pulling them up. I do have a playlist of this case. It's been a while because first time hearing of this. Really? Yeah, so many. 20 counts. Is that it? I thought no, there was more, I thought. Is that really just I thought it was more than that. No, it was. I know for a fact it was more than that. Um 60. 60 child sex abuse charges. This just happened. So these messages with this girl and Stephen Stearns are from there's so many. I'm probably gonna have to do a couple separate lives. They're from 2025, and I think we're starting from I think the beginning or so the beginning, which would be 2025. But I believe I saw some in here. Let me open. I thought I saw 2026, but I might be mistaken on that. I haven't even read these over. We're reviewing them, reacting and commenting on them. Either way, this is disgusting. You're new to these messages or you're new to the Maddie Soto case? Oh, Maddie Soto case is brutal. Um, I don't like her mom, Jen Soto, at all. You made it sound like I was crazy for not knowing. It is crazy because you know what? Like we cover all these true crime cases and stuff, but like this needs to be covered too. Like people are spending time over there and like people might not care, like, but you should care that there's someone on here that has a platform that is talking to child predators. We do not condone that here at Mellyverse. Sorry. We do not condone anything against children or animals. Well, anyone for that matter of fact, but in specific, no ma'am. I don't care who you are. I cannot do it. And so I'm disgusted. The case in general. Oh, this is new for me. Really? Maddie Soto case is like How would I have known? Because this is like a sector of YouTube that I don't have anything to do with. Like, I don't know who this allegedly speculating channel is, but it sounds like drama, and we try not to do that here unless it's me doing it. Or like after darks, but for the most part, yeah, no. I don't even know that channel. It's like Krama, I think, is what they call it. Um, anyways, let's go through these disgusting emails. So Stephan Stearns, these are from when he was at Osceola County Corrections Department. Yeah. Her mother should be in jail. Yes. Jen Soto should be in jail, incarcerated. She's a pedophile as well. She allowed it. So in my book, you're just as bad. Um, okay, let me pull up these messages. I'm not very happy about this. Mm, who, like, if you go back into my Maddie Soto case playlist, you'll hear me talking so much shit about Stephen Stearns, and all of the lives. So the fact that someone's doing this is beyond me. And that should be, a little red flag to you about the channels that you support. Mm, people want to get mad at me because I changed my opinion about Mackenzie Shrilla, but it's like, okay, there's predator channels out here, so I don't think it's gonna be the end of the world. The only crime I follow is Lauren Matthias. Ew. Okay, let's get started on these. So it says, "Hello, Stephen Stearns." So I think this is her. I believe her name is Jessica. Her name is. She was trying to pick his brain, glazing him to give the impression of mutual interest. I can kind of understand it. I used to think that, yeah, but you don't have to do that. Like, there's other ways you can get clout. You don't have to talk to a predator. I get it, even if it was just for views. It's still disgusting behavior. So I stand on that. No pedophiles allowed here. It says, "Hello, Stephen Stearns, Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. Hi, I appreciate you accepting my request to talk. I honestly didn't think you would, so I am unsure where to start. Your vocabulary is a lot more advanced than mine, so forgive me for my ignorance. I am blunt and an honest person. So I will, oh, and I just want to say disclaimer, shout out to White Boy Lockdown Radio. He's who made these messages available. So shout out to him. Um okay, hi. I appreciate you accepting my request to talk. I honestly didn't think you would, so I am unsure where to start. Your vocabulary is a lot more advanced than mine, so forgive me for my ignorance. I am blunt and honest person, so I will not insult you with lies. I want to know who you are. I know the headlines and the information that is out, but I don't understand. As someone who has been in court before, I understand that you can't talk about the case as it might jeopardize your defense. So, again, I won't insult you by trying to talk about that. Hopefully, one day we can. For now, if it's okay with you, I would like to know who you are. What kind of person would you describe yourself as? If you do not want to answer that, can you tell me if you've always had a love for literature? When did you get into Pokemon? I remember in school I had a Charizard card that would be worth a lot of money if I still had it. LOL. I'm very close in age to you. I remember having Tamagotchis. Mine always died because I forgot to feed them. I remember finding them and almost crying because I had forgotten them. It affected me like having a real pet would. I used to be gothic, but now they call it emo. That reminds me of like Avril Lavigne. I was more into Corn and Slipknot, if that makes any sense. I apologize for the spelling in this letter and the quote, "oh, look, a squirrel" aspect of it. I am I too am ADHD. Like I said earlier, I don't know much about you. I would like to know more. I have told you a little bit about myself. Is there anything about yourself that you can share with me? I understand if you cannot. I really just wanted to try. Again, thank you for accepting my request. I hope to hear from you soon. So this is her. Yeah, I want to cover Lindsay Clancy later again. Yeah, this is wild. Um, so that was Jessica. Now Stephan Stearns is gonna respond. This is sick. He really thinks someone is interested in him. April 5th, 2025. Hello, Jessica. I am surprised that I accepted as well. Perhaps it was out of boredom or curiosity. I avoid random requests normally since I really don't want to be harassed. You are correct. I cannot and will not get into detail about anything having to do with my cases, but maybe some lighter topics would be okay. So, to answer your first question, I would describe myself as kind hearted, compassionate, deeply empathetic, and loyal to my family and friends and the people I care about. When did raping a little girl become compassionate? Hello? She probably really is interested in him. And if she is allegedly speculating, you need to fucking get some help because this is disgusting. I can't even. If I mean, these are the files. I I'm gonna do a FOIA to try to actually get. I don't know where these came from. I'm assuming someone downloaded them. I don't know, but I trust the person I got them from. This is not right. Yo, did you see what he looks like on my thumbnail? He murdered Madeline Soto and repeated SA from like 6 or whatever, 7 to when she was unalived. And then he threw her body into the fucking forest like it was nothing. No, she knew. She knew who it was. She was reaching out to him allegedly for clout, but girl, there's many other things you can do for clout. I don't know. Show your titties. I don't know. Do something. Don't be a predator, is what I'm saying. Mm, that's horrific. Yeah. People messaged Wade Wilson. Well, yeah, this is like what it is too. Like, listen, if that's the case, then you need to get mental help, and we're really big on mental health right now, covering Lindsay Clancy. I always watch from the bushes. I found you earlier this year with Mackenzie. I'm glad you're bringing aware to this. It's very alarming. Thank you. I love mommy. Yes, it is alarming. This person shouldn't even be on YouTube or let alone monetized. Yes, do what Melly said, show them. I mean, whatever floats your boat, just don't be involved with a child predator. Okay. He says, "Ah, I am compassionate, deeply empathetic, and loyal to my family and friends and the people I care about. When I decide someone is my friend, I tend to take their burdens onto myself. Their problems become my problems too, because I have always believed that is what friends are for. Unfortunately, not many people are willing to reciprocate when times are hard for me. And that's when I usually find out who the quote fair weather friends are. I love animals and have had a habit of bringing home stray or orphan animals from an early age. I once had a pet squirrel that I brought home when I found him curled up in a ball on the ground as a baby before his eyes were even open yet. Brought him home in my vest pocket and begged my parents to let him stay. His name was Skippy. I also had a baby blue jay that I found in a similar way. I once found a kitten on the side of the road who seemed to have been hit or at least clipped by a car and proceeded to drive around for hours looking for a vet clinic that was open on the weekends while my friend held the kitten in her lap. Life is a precious thing to me, be it an animal or human. Um, You killed a child. Yeah, the noodles. This is wild. This is actually wild. This is sickening. It's sickening, yes. I'll have to sneeze. Hold on. Okay. This is so bad. Excuse me. He says, life is a precious thing to me, may it be animal or human. When I see something or someone in pain, my natural reaction is to want to help if I can. Yes, from a very early age, I have had a love of literature. I don't remember exactly when I began reading on my own, but I recall my mother teaching me from an early age. By the time I was in third grade, I was at 12th grade reading level. Books have always been a great mental escape, and I am partial to fiction, specifically fantasy and science fiction. That's my jam. The Hobbit is a big favorite of mine in fantasy genre. I first read it when I was maybe 9 years old, picked it up at an airport bookstore, started reading it on the flight, and didn't put it down again until it was finished. My current favorites in sci fi are the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown and basically anything by Ernest Cline, the author of Ready Player One, Ready Player Two. Klein writes in a way that speaks to Gen X and elder millennial audiences on a deep level, and I dig it. When did I get into Pokemon? From the very start. I remember when it came to the US back in I think it was 97 or 98 question mark. I forgot exactly which year, but I had seen an article in a newspaper talking about it and thought, "Oh man, I got to check that out." And maybe the next week, I was out with my dad running errands. I begged to stop by a game store and was soon on the way home with a box containing Pokemon Red and could hardly wait to open it and pop that thing into my original Game Boy and start catching them all. Is this person like okay in the brain? I was maybe around 11 years old at the time and was a Pokemon fan from that point on. When the trading card game came out later, it was amazing. I even played the card game in the official Pokemon League tournaments that were held on the weekends at Toys R Us. And yes, you won league badge pins for playing in those and earning point points towards the badges. Speaking on Charizard cards, I found two of my original Charizard cards in the storage not too long ago in an old box that still had one of my decks in it. I found two Charizard cards and a Blastoise card, along with a bunch of other cards from the first set. Sadly, no first edition cards. I remember when Tamagotchi came to America as well. Mine always died too, but I still enjoy them to this day. It's a simple and silly thing for a grown man to enjoy, but I think it hits me right in the nostalgia and maybe also because I'm much better at playing them now. It's kind of a way to stick it to my past younger self and say, see, dummy, it's not so hard after all. The newer Tamagotchi devices are wild, though. Color screens, rechargeable batteries with UC as USB-C chargers, Wi-Fi, downloadable content, interacting and playing games against others around the world. That's the Tamagotchi Uni. That came out maybe a year and a half ago. I always come back to the classic Tamas though. In 2018, they began releasing new versions of the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Tamagotchi with the original programming and are still making them now. And they have an entire storefront on Amazon where you can get the classic versions for about $20 in a mind blowing variety of shell designs. I have quite the collection at this point with new devices and several vintage and rare ones as well, and even some that were only sold back in the 90s. I also collect and enjoy Digimon V Pets as well. I think between Tamagotchi and Digimon, I have somewhere between 40 to 50 V pets in my collection, and I don't even want to think about how much money I have spent to acquire some of them in new condition. I know exactly what you mean by the goth emo thing. Emo was basically my go to type of girl when I was in high school. Heavy eyeliner, band t shirts, studded belts, and Converse shoes. Check, but I was down with the goth chicks too and had a lot of goth friends as well. Sometimes in the early to mid 2000s, goth slash emo were becoming a mixed thing. Before that, goth was usually wearing black all the time, lots of chains hanging from your clothing, heavy dark makeup, and facial piercings, and looking scary were common. And yes, corn and Slipknot were standard issue for practically any goth worth their salt back in the day. Yes, it sounds like you may be pretty close in age to me, judging by the things you are referencing. I was born in '86, so I remember a lot of cool stuff from when it happened. I even remember seeing a segment on the news when the Power Rangers first hit America and thinking, I gotta have it. There was always a new hit fad back then. Oh shoot. Um, Sorry, I closed out of my screen. I also enjoy painting miniatures and playing tabletop games, but that's a whole other wall of text worth of stuff. Don't worry about your spelling, it was fine. And besides, we have autocorrect these days. I have ADD, so I fully understand the look scroll aspect of our brains. It's okay. I think I answered the questions that I could. I have to refer back to your message many times to stay on track because, ADD, but I guess that about wraps it up. Mommy dear, cut the correspondence and go. Oh. So she was using a different channel to connect with him? Ew. Um, I just can't get past this. I suppose I have a question or two for you. You said you wanted to know who I am. Why is that? Or I guess, what is the motivation behind it? Are you a YouTuber or another online personality doing this for a channel or something? Or just a curious person? I worry that in replying to you, I may be opening a floodgate of sorts and get swamped by other people. I might get scolded by my attorneys as well. But I think maybe this is light enough conversation that it shouldn't be damaging. Dot dot dot. I hope. I will lose a tablet soon. So I guess I will send this off and probably spend the next day or so mentally berating myself for replying in the first place. But it seems innocent enough, and perhaps I'll hear back from you again. And if so, tell me a bit more about yourself as well. Sharing is a two-way street, and any decent friendship should at least have an equal amount of give and take at least. Anyway, I'm going to play solitaire again for maybe the gazillionth time, and I wish I could have a Tamagotchi in here. Take care. Dude, you grape children and you want to play with Tamagotchis. Dude, this is sick. Hey, Silverblood, I just got here from the Hayden video. I'm subscribed. You do a nice job. Pretty voice. Love your look and fairy lights. Thank you. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yuck. Okay, he says, take care. She says, hi, I wanted to answer your questions. This is still on April 5th. I wanted to answer your questions first before telling you more about myself. You asked one, why do I want to know who you are? The answer to that would be a lot of reasons. The main reason is there is someone always behind the headlines. Nobody ever set out in life and said, I want to be labeled as X when I grow up. He didn't get labeled that. He's a literal PDF file. I know how that first feels firsthand as I went down a bad road myself. Sometimes we find ourselves in places and are like, wait, how did I get here? Or how the F did this happen? There is a person behind all of the mistakes that is usually kind of relatable. And I want to understand. Half or two, LOL. What's the motivation behind it? My motivation was and is that I want to understand you as a person. I want to know about your life to help me understand from your perspective. Three, am I a YouTuber or an online personality doing this for a channel or something, or just curious? I'm honestly just curious. Oh, she's lying. Liar. I will inform you in case you do not realize I have to use my legal name and address in order to purchase credits for us to communicate. My information has to match my card. So it would be stupid of me to publish these letters or tell anyone I'm talking to you because I would potentially be doxing myself. Not to mention the harsh reactions I would probably receive. So don't worry, I'm not telling anyone about this and hopefully it will stay under the radar. And I respect your lawyers enough to not discuss the case. Besides, I don't have money for gas, hotels, and time it takes to drive to Florida to go to court if I was to be called in. So I'm not doing anything stupid. I hope you do not berate yourself for replying. I have not been in your exact situation, and I know you have to be careful. I hope I explained enough for you to understand that it would not be smart for me to release these emails or tell anyone about them. I know what it's like to wait with bated breath to get an email or use the phone, mail, money on commissary too because you're bored out of your mind. I was around other women, so I always did have someone to play spades with. I could not imagine being alone all the time. I hope you at least have a TV or something. Can you get like the coloring books for adults or anything to actually do in there? While I know you love to read, I'm sure you get bored with that. And solitaire from time to time. It would be nice to have a Tamagotchi there. That would be the best maintained Tamagotchi in the history of Tamagotchis. LOL. I was a basic goth girl in high school, as we spoke about. My history teacher called me Child of Darkness. LOL. I wore only eyeliner, but it was heavy studded or the seat belts, all black, band tees, and chains. My shoes of choice were and still are DCs. I like the thick tongue of the DC shoes. I have almost always kept a pink and black pair. You said you saved baby animals. I have two, mainly birds. I have always wanted a baby squirrel, a possum, or raccoon. I spend a lot of time outside in nature, but luckily or unluckily, I haven't come across any yet. I had a bird named Starlet that was a common starling. I raised him from a baby. I always forced myself to let them go when they could manage on their own. He was the only one that came back. At dusk, I would leave the door open and he would fly right in and eat and perch up for the night. In the morning, he left. One night, he didn't come back. There was another group of starlings that had come through moving south for the winter. He started to stay out later and later. When they left, he went with them. I always pick and say I have grab birdies down in Mexico somewhere. I was born in 87 and I do remember Power Rangers from my childhood. This is so weird. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I said, "Yeah, right." I never got into them really, but I would watch them from time to time. I remember Saturday morning cartoons. My favorite show was a show not many people have heard of. It was called Gargoyles, and it had this lady that lived in New York. I think she was a detective. Anyways, the gargoyles would come to life at night and protect her. I guess my goth and wanting to understand what makes humans do the things we sometimes do started there. LOL. Saturday morning cartoons. Who would have thought? LOL. I do remember Digimon, or rather hearing about them. I had no idea Tamagotchis had become so advanced. But why wouldn't they? Technology is amazing, although we are supposed to have flying cars by now. I'm legit upset about that. LOL. And lastly, the books. I never got into reading. I have watched Lord of the Rings movies and I have seen The Hobbit too. I have always heard the books are better. I have seen Ready Player One, also heard the book was better. I am much more into making things. I want to have something to show for the hours I put into things. I suppose I should have opted for the knowledge I would have gotten from the books, so. I was very stubborn growing up and thought I knew all. Now I could make lots of things, but a good vocabulary would be nice. LOL. I think it's sweet that you remember what kinds of cards for the first time. I'm going through your email and trying to respond to everything. if you can't tell. I think I said lastly earlier, but I lied. I think this will be the last part. LOL. It sounds like you're a very caring and generous person. No, he murdered a child. What do you mean? I wouldn't give up on all of your friends just yet. There is a lot going on, and maybe you will hear from them when everything is over. I know people come out, and when we need the help back, they're nowhere to be found. Unfortunately, that happens a lot these days. I think we were raised differently. People are not what they used to be, especially when it comes to morals, compassion, and helping each other. Cars are not what they used to be either, for that matter. Everything is plastic, but I suppose it comes with innovation. I hope I have answered your questions and given a proper response. What books are you reading right now? What's your favorite item on the canteen? Do you watch TV? Are you allowed to watch things on the tablet? If so, is it like movies or like YouTube channels or like the news? Hope to hear from you soon. I think these two losers are trying to sound cool. Stephan says on Sunday, April 6th at 2:32 p.m. Hey Jessica, thank you for answering my questions. I appreciate your candor. To begin answering your questions, I will go through an order on the message, and I think that's the easiest way for us ADH peeps to do it. I always flip between calling it ADD and ADHD because back when I was diagnosed, they were still two separate things. But I think these days it's all considered ADHD and just comes in different flavors. So, to start, yes, being alone all the time sucks. When TVs and movies depict the hardships of being in the box slash solitary slash isolated confinement, they really only give a basic impression. People really do lose their minds and go crazy in solitary, sometimes after only a few weeks or months. Luckily, I have always been somewhat self sufficient when it comes to keeping myself entertained, and being an introvert has made me be able to withstand this better than most people, but it's been 13 months in isolation, with many more to go, most likely. Yeah, because you like to KILL children. No, I don't have a TV to watch, just my books and my cards. I also have Sudoku puzzles, but you're right. There is only so much of that you can do before are bored to death and ready to scream. Lately, I have gotten some learn to draw books, and I'm trying to work on those skills, which I have never tried to use before. And surprise, surprise, I kind of suck at drawing. LOL. To be fair, I only have a black ballpoint pen to work with, but still, it's like trying to use muscles you've never used before. It's awkward, but I am trying. I'm still working on basic techniques like how to make the various lines to use when shading an object. I'm not I'm not even actually shading anything yet, just literally learning the various types of shading to use. I should clarify. I am using a learn to draw cartoons and also learn to draw anime books. So right now I am working from the anime book, and the shading techniques are the type of hatching, cross hatching, and stippling you would typically see in a manga graphic novel. Speaking of which, I'm also begging my family to send some manga graphic novels just to get some entertaining visual media instead of regular novels for a change. I'm trying to get some Naruto, Bleach, and Shaman King manga. I have read at this point maybe 120 books in the times I have been here. Some of those are the same books that I have read two to three, four plus times, but it still counts as far as I'm concerned. There is a book cart that offers two books a month to check out, but the rest is all books sent to me by my family. I think I must have about or close to 70 to 80 books by now. About 40 of them are in my property storage currently, and the rest are in my property bag in my cell. I understand falling asleep while the reading thing, but when it's all you have to do, it gets a lot easier to power through. And yes, books are always better than the movie versions, especially Ready Player One. The book was way better and so different from the movie. I can't believe so his family is just in there supporting him, of course. Him and his mom had a weird relationship. He is a loser. Yeah, he is a loser. It's like anime. Green Nine. Yeah, Japanese comics. He says, there is one movie that I will say I liked better than the book, and that is Jaws. The movie was better, more exciting, and Matt Hooper character was much more likable in the movie. And yes, if I had a Tamagotchi in here, it would be the best kept Tamagotchi in history, probably. Child of Darkness, LOL. That's such a typical teacher thing to say. Oh, I remember those seatbelt belts. Those were so cool. You sound like the type of person I definitely would and did chill with back then. DC shoes are great. I was kind of partial to Lakai shoes myself, or the basic Vans too. Having a baby squirrel was an interesting experience. He was a frantic little fellow, but an absolute laugh riot at times too. He would leap halfway across the room and land on your shoulder, and if someone was not expecting it, it was a good source of comedy. He dude, I don't believe this. He unfortunately died from choking on a piece of bark from chewing on a stick in the enclosure. He died in my hands. That was a heartbreaking experience for me. I'm gonna need receipts, Stefan, or I think you killed the squirrel. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. But you but your pet starlet sounds cool. Starlings are very smart birds and the natural vocal mimics too. They can reproduce human voices in a scary accurate way, right down to tone of voice. Coincidentally, the crest sigil on my family coat of arms is a Uh, male starling. It is a symbol of divine providence. Yes, it does sound like Starlet finally made the journey with his own birdie peoples, but it's cool that he stayed on with you for a while at least, and you got the satisfaction of knowing he had a better and longer life than he otherwise would have without your help. 87 was your year, eh? Yep, we're lucky to be at the tail end of the 80s. We get to remember a little of the 80s and experience the 90s in all their glory, which for young kids growing up, the 90s were pretty awesome. So many great things that we had back then. Kids these days don't even know. And we are the last generation that remembers MTV still having actual music videos or even going outside to play before the time of cell phones and every pocket, widespread internet usage, and social media. And then by the time that came into full swing, we already were into our teens and able to take it as it came along. Oh, yeah, I know the Gargoyles. That is a nice little nostalgia hit right there. I love that show too. And also, Pirates of Darkwater was at, another one around at that time that I enjoyed. Making things is a cool skill. Creation is a satisfying thing. I think your vocabulary is more than sufficient. And I don't think my own is really far beyond yours at all. So don't short sell yourself. It sounds like you are the creative type. I enjoy the odd craft here and there myself, using your hands to make or create or craft something in as enormously satisfying feeling. Though my own crafts tend to be along the lines of painting things, not like an artist with a canvas, but like applying color and paint jobs to existing objects, or also casting things in resin. That was a craft I recently gotten into, but hadn't progressed much yet. What sort of things do you make? I'm about to lose a tablet, so I gotta go now. Hope to hear back soon. I can't believe he actually thinks, yeah, we're all vomiting. Who in the world would pen pal that? That's what I said. He's probably killed the squirrel and blamed the sticks to his line. He lies a lot and manipulates. I full blown think he killed the squirrel. Absolutely. He had no problem raping a child and unaliving her. Why would the squirrel matter? He says, what oh yeah, the tablet, okay. Ew, Stefan, you actually believe someone is interested. No. He says, what is this? Okay, so it's later at night. He says, I got the tablet back, so I will continue where I left off. He says, I agree, things and people are not what they used to be. I miss video game consoles and controllers that would typically last forever. Everything has built in functional obsolescence now, and it sucks. Obs- obsolescence. Social media seems like it has made everyone less social, ironically. I hope I hear from my friends too when this is all done, and I hope I have a chance to see some of them again. No, Stefan, you're not going to see your friends. You're going to die in prison. Yeah, where the F is Jen Soto? Is this Jen Soto? Just kidding. It's allegedly speculating, and we are not gonna follow her or support her on YouTube. If anything, bitch needs to be canceled. He's a grown man, and he loves Tamagotchis. I know his playlist is gonna enrage me. She's busy being a potato. Is she in witness protection? Yeah, from me. Crime writers do this to build up. I'm sure they don't enjoy it playing. I don't know a little bit of Lisa. This is weird behavior. He says, no, your friends don't want to see you either. Every day is, oh, he says, when all this is said and done, I forgive them. I forgive them for not wanting to poke their heads up or speak in my favor, but I have to sneeze, but it still hurts. Every day is a fresh struggle to stay positive and stay sane, and it gets harder and harder as time drags on. You asked, what am I reading now? Currently, I am reading Sandworms of Dune, which is the eighth and final book of the Dune Chronicles. Frank Herbert wrote the first six of them before dying in 1986 and had planned for a final seventh book, and he never got around to writing. His son Brian Herbert found in the notes an outline for the final book in a safe deposit. In a safe slash deposit box about 10 years later and ended up writing it out based on his father's outline and notes and split it up into two books instead of one. It is a good read and answers a lot of questions from the previous books. After this book is done, I will jump back in where I left off with book number 4 in the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson, which is fantastic and entertaining fantasy series that really sucked me into the enormous world that the author built. My favorite item on the canteen is hands down coffee. I live on that stuff. Wait, I remember it was it the phone calls with his mom where I think he talks about coffee. I'm pretty sure. I live on this stuff. I ask my family to send me about 20 coffee packs a week and typically drink at least 2 cups per day. It's certainly no Starbucks. It's just freeze dried instant coffee for a roughly 6 ounce serving, but it's better than no coffee. I drink it black since the powdered creamer is so dumpy and the ingredients read like a great way to get stomach cancer. Sometimes I will splurge a bit and get some pink packets of sweetener, and that's nice on occasion. Beyond that, I like hard candies. No, I'm traumatized by the hard candies. He brought these up in the phone calls too. They're on the playlist. We've reviewed them. He says, I like hard candies, Jolly Ranchers, butterscotch, the root beer barrels. He brought up the root beer barrels too. He's sick. Not because he likes the root beer barrels, but because he's just a predator. And lemon drops. You get more value. You know, I choked on a lemon drop, you guys. You want to know that? Yeah, I love them, but I won't eat them now. Yeah, I was jumping on the bed and I had a lemon drop. This was when I was like, I don't know, probably like 6 or 7. Anyways, I choked on a lemon drop. I survived. Clearly, here I am. Let's move on. Just thought I would give you a little bit of information about my past. Okay, he says, you get more value out of hard candies, and they satisfy my sweet tooth. As far as actual food goes, while the standard ramen soups are always good, and packs of the spicy refried beans with rice, basically things that are easy to make, or anything spicy are what I enjoy. I don't have a TV to watch, and the tablet doesn't have any movies to watch beyond what's in the edge. in the educational area on Khan Academy. They have Khan Academy on there? I used Khan Academy when I was doing, like, chemistry shit. She sent that child to sleep with him alone so she could get a good sleep. No. She knew what was going on. Jennifer Soto let her child be raped by her disgusting loser boyfriend, Stephan Stearns. He says, so no YouTube or social media or anything. I do have a small radio. However, he's really interested if this person is from YouTube. I do have a small radio, however, and I listen to it sometimes. I have really begun to enjoy listening to talk shows on Real Radio 104.1, like Monsters in the Morning, News Junkies, mm, and the Jim Colbert Show. Why does that sound familiar? My favorite is Monsters. It's very funny. They're also available on the iHeartRadio app, and they live stream their shows on YouTube as well. Also on XL 106.7 on Sunday nights from 10 p.m. until midnight. It's all K-pop and global pop. I have never given K-pop much of a shot before, but have realized that it's better than I had thought and much more varied than I realized. I am also legitimately impressed with the harmonies and vocals from some of the groups. Weird thing to get into while in jail, but there you go. LOL. Yeah, weird. So inmates can sit there and watch. Yeah, apparently they can have iHeartRadio. That was just her excuse to cops. Yeah, I think Jen was allowing it for the whole time. She knew what was going on. She was allowing it. I don't think they can get on YouTube, but maybe the iHeartRadio. I don't know. He says, I appreciate your willingness to answer my questions and hope I am providing sufficient answers for your own. To wrap up my message, mm, I guess, is it different for like every prison what they allow? Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think they had iHeartRadio. But oh, sorry, I stopped the message midway. But Mackenzie Sharilla would bring up Discord, remember? So I think it's like specific things you might be able to do on in some places. But anyways, I appreciate your willingness to answer my questions, and I hope I'm providing sufficient answers for your own. To wrap up my question, I guess I have my message. I have a few more questions for you based off your previous answers. You said that you were around others and played cards and such. So that means you were at least in a housing dorm in Gen Pop, but you weren't in my exact situation. Do you mind if I ask what landed you in that spot? Did you beat your case or get sentenced? Was it only jail or did you end up in actual prison? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I'm just trying to get a better idea of your experiences. Another question, I suppose, is this: what made you want to reach out to me? You say you are not doing this for any channels or social media or anything, and that makes sense to me, I suppose. So, are you just a regular person who decided to reach out to me out of pure curiosity or sympathy or something else? I'm just trying to understand. Although I will say it's nice to have a pen pal, I am still somewhat wary. I also worry that even if you are just a regular person with good intentions, you may still end up getting some backlash for talking to me. Yeah, here I am. Here's the backlash. Well, with his emails, there's only a handful of creators talking about them. So if he could watch YouTube, I'm pretty sure this would be a highlight. Ew, Stephen Stearns, you nasty. We don't give a shit about you, but we're reading your stupid ass emails. Anyways, okay. He says, my messages, I would feel bad about that. My messages are public information. And I think, and I puke every time I hear your name, Stephen Stearns. Literally puke. Okay, I would feel bad about that. My messages are public information. Anyone can just request them to them can request them thanks to the laws down here. And with my case being redacted from them, but the internet is being what it is. There are always some sleuths who make it their life mission to hunt her for people or information. I fear our messages may spark some interest, conversation, or even controversy online. Well, that's it for now. I will send this off as my part two of my previous message, and hopefully I hear back. Take care and thank you for talking to me. Yeah, it is sparking conversation. We think it's disgusting, and your little friend should probably be in prison too, whoever this allegedly speculating girl is. And I'm usually not like a big hater, but yeah, I'm gonna be. Okay, let me pull up the next batch. I'll do okay. Yeah, it's disgusting. Okay, here we go. She responds here. Okay, it says, "Hey, this is April 8th." So I think like a day later. Mm, sorry, let me fix my screens. Okay, says, "Hello, sorry it took me a minute to respond. I wanted to wait until I could sit down and focus on the email. ADD and all, it might just be ADD for me. I'm not very hyperactive, lol. The different flavors part is funny. I don't like my flavor. I can understand how you could easily lose your mind in solitary. 13 months is a long time to be there alone. No, not when he killed a child. 13 months is a long time when you're in there alone with nothing but your thoughts mostly. I know when I got in trouble, it was like time stopped for everyone in jail, and it just goes on for everybody outside. Yeah, it's called motherfucking freedom. Who is this allegedly speculating person? Please come up to the front. Step up, ma'am. I need to speak with you. What do you look like? Let's find out. Because you are nasty for talking to pig vomit. Um, I know when I got in trouble, it was like time stop. I'm glad you are able to keep yourself entertained. I do use Sudoku puzzles in the newspaper. LOL. They will make you think. How about you get a book of puzzles? Do they even still make newspapers? Whatever. They learn to draw, but the learn to draw book sounds fun. That's a great idea. I have tried them in the past with not very much luck. Those gel pens suck. It's literally just the ink tube and tip. More power to you if that's all you could do it with. I don't know much about manga, but I have heard of Bleach and Naruto. I actually love Naruto. So I don't appreciate that I'm talking about it. If you do get good at drawing those, you could make your own anime book, and that would be really cool. The book cards probably suck. I'm sure the ones your family send you are a lot better. I can't imagine Jaws, the movie, being better than the book. What's Jaws without the piano tune and the cinematic suspense? LOL. The fact that you have a starling on your family crest is interesting. I don't know if that I didn't know that they meant divine providence. I learned something new almost daily. LOL. Yes, it broke my heart when Starlet left, but I know he had a better life now. There's nothing like being out in the wild, and I can't provide that. I'm glad he's happy where he is. I unfortunately have experienced death with my animals too. I have to hold them as they die. Um, I'm calling the police literally as we're here on live. Like, do we know where she lives? I need to call the police. I need to call the police. Yeah. Wait, Jen, you don't know who Stephan Stearns is? How do you guys not know the case of Maddie Soto? I'm screaming. What the hell? Yeah, she says that. I have to hold them as they die. You're starting to sound like Jeffrey Dahmer. He's in he was in jail at this point waiting for trial. Trial or not, this bitch is weird who reached out to him. And it was very sad, breaks your heart every time. I hope that kitten made it okay and survived that you were talking about it in one of the other emails, the one you found in the road. We were lucky to get the 90s. I miss MTV actually playing music videos. Back then, to sit and watch music videos all afternoon was the best. Music videos were how I listened to music. I used to take a tape recorder and set it by the TV with MTV on so I could listen to the songs whenever I wanted to. Then came Nastier and burnt CDs. I had a ton of those. Nastier? Is that what it's called? I thought it was LimeWire. I had a ton of those, and going outside drinking from the water hose, LOL. We would probably get in trouble for letting kids drink from the hose in this day and age. I seem to remember a pirates show. It might be the Pirates of Dark Water that you mentioned. I hate that kids don't get to experience Saturday morning cartoons anymore. Yeah, well, we hate that Maddie Soto couldn't live her life. Yeah. Um She says, "I saw that you like to paint those Warhammer figures. That indeed takes skill. Do you have to paint them certain colors or do you choose your own? I crochet, paint, wood burn, and other things. I use resin too. It's kind of like I'll see something on Pinterest and I'm like, oh, that's pretty. I can make that and try to, LOL. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I miss Nintendo 64, LOL. I know it's not one of the best ones ever made. I think I miss the nostalgia of it. My brother used to play Mario with me on the 64 and I enjoyed it. They do everything to break nowadays, so you have to keep buying it and they keep making money. It really sucks. Social media has indeed made people way less social and then Covington sealed the deal. I am sorry about your friends. You have to stay positive in there and keep praying. You can't lose hope. Once people hear your side of things, they might change their minds. Who's going to change their mind? Not us. Stephan Stearns tried to say that Maddie was coming onto Maddie was a child, literally 6 or 7 years old. No, he's a PDF file. She was only 13, and that is so sad. She lost her life at the hands of him, and her innocence was robbed from her. He started raping her at like 6 or 7 and drugging her. No one's going to hear your side of things. If anyone, people are probably going to want to run you over with their actual vehicle. He put the crimes on video. Yeah, and sold them in the black market, is my opinion. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for saying black market. Sorry, YouTube. I really think that yeah, her mother needs to be in prison. He had CSAM. She says, the book Sandworms of Dune title reminds me of that Kevin Bacon movie. LOL. It was like Tremors or something. These big worm snakes were coming out of the desert ground and eating people. If the younger generation saw that today, they would probably laugh and say, wow, those graphics are something else. LOL, it's sweet that the author's son finished writing that book for him. I'm going to have to look those books up so I have a better understanding of what they are about. Coffee was my favorite too. I also like the peanut butter. LOL. I love peanut butter. They had the nutty bars and cornflake candy where I was, and those were great too. I saw girls snort that instant coffee. Seriously. I was like, that's horrible. Y'all are weird. LOL. I drink mine black too, but sometimes I use that creamer. It doesn't dissolve though. I like the hard candies too. We would take the fruit balls and throw them on the floor in the packets to break them up into small pieces and flavor the water. Soups are good too. We would all buy stuff to throw in, and like every other night, we would throw in on burritos. So is this allegedly speculating person she was actually incarcerated or she's just going along with this? Yeah, exactly, Lisa. He was drugging her as he got older. Yeah. Melly for real saying black market YouTube. Oh yeah. I'm sure I'm already flagged. Um they were the tortilla wraps, ramen noodles, summer sausage, and what is that? Spick chili with the beans with cheese sauce. They were really good. We would also get honey buns and hot chocolate powder and just a tad of water to the hot chocolate to make a syrup. We set peanut butter in the windowsill or just rubbed the packs in our hands until it melted and put the chocolate syrup and peanut butter on the honey bun for birthday cakes, etc. Just some thoughts on ways to make better food in there. Have you watched any of these educational stuff through Khan Academy? They didn't have tablets there when I was in trouble. Not theirs not there is got in trouble in NC, but I think it's a great idea to gain an education. I'm glad Khan partnered with them if they did. Having a radio is nice. I would love that. I mean, at least you would have music, you know? I don't think I could get into K pop no matter how good the harmonies and vocals were, but maybe. Talk radio is interesting sometimes. Have you heard anything interesting on News Junkie? Is Monsters like the morning show? Those are always good. To answer your question, yes, I was in housing dorm. I went to 4 different jails over time. I was addicted to heroin and to make money to buy it, I would boost. Basically, me and my boyfriend at the time would go into Walmart separately, and I would put expensive things in the cart and walk out the door with it. We would then sell it for half price to people we knew and go buy drugs we needed. I would go for probation violations too, do 60 days here, 90 days there. I never committed a felony. I haven't been to trial, but I know you can't talk about it. The girls in there for the bigger crimes wouldn't talk about cases, and it was always very clear to me anyway that you don't ask about it either. I never shared my information, and it was just the best practice for that situation anyway. I have been clean for 8 years now. I got out with no felonies, but only because I was pretty good at it for a while, I suppose. As good as you can be at stealing and being a drug addict. I have never been to prison. I wanted to reach out to you to get to know you as a person. Hopefully, one day to get your side of things to help me understand. I'm curious about a lot of things that we cannot discuss right now. I told you I am honest. Yes, one day I would like to hear your story, but we cannot discuss that right now. I also want to get to know you so that I know who you are better. I enjoyed writing and having a pen pal of sorts. Yes, it's important for you to keep up your hope and positive thoughts. So if I can help you do that, I want it to. Like I said before, there's always a person behind the headlines that never wanted the things to happen the way that they do. Okay. So how do you unalive someone and things just happen the way that they do? You know, Jennifer is furious reading this. Tomorrow I will have a live and it'll be like Jen Soda went after allegedly speculating for stealing her man. Yeah, her man's. Disgusting. Because truth can stop. Oh, I see. I don't know who that is. His mom found out she was a YouTuber and shut this shit down. Yeah, I bet. Too late. She says, I do have sympathy for you. Ew, yuck. Um, I do have sympathy for you because I know this is hard for you. Was it? Was it hard raping a child for 5 years? Oh, we should just let you walk right out, Stefan. You pig. I know it would be nice to have someone to talk to about things that are not really serious. So I thought I would reach out. I know about the sunshine laws in Florida. I'm not too worried about it. I will deal with the backlash if these are released. I know people can see who puts money on your books and who you call. I'm not sure about emails though. If they're being used in trial, they could be released. But other than that, I'm not sure they would have access to these. But if it gets out somehow, someone for me, I'll deal with it. I don't like attention, but if it comes down to it, I can handle it. I do appreciate you talking to me. It's nice to get to know you, and I enjoy these conversations. I don't have any questions for you at the moment, and I don't want to keep you waiting, so I will send this back. I hope you also write back. I know I laid a lot on you. Hopefully, I don't scare you away. Hope to hear from you soon. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. It's a YouTuber. Yeah, by the name of allegedly speculating. I'm not one to say like, um, get her off of here, but she should be off of YouTube. Why is his mom controlling who he talks to? I think his mom was like somewhat in love with him and not like a son, if you know what I mean. Some of those weird things on the calls they were saying, I don't know. Weird dynamic. Mommy and daddy are funding him. I know I'm a nurse. Exactly. Simply because she holds the purse strings. I don't know. Didn't you guys catch a weird vibe? In some of the calls, I just felt like something was very much off. I wonder if BK's mom does the same. I bet. Okay, Stefan says, "Hey Jessica, this is so true about just time seeming to pause on the inside. Intellectually, I know time has not stopped. And I'm not about to spend a second birthday in this place, which sucks. But it does feel like life has been put on hold. And I just keep hearing about everything happening out there without me and all the things I am missing out on. Um, Again, what about Maddie missing out on her birthdays and her life and the opportunity to go to high school and prom and date someone and not be great? Ew. Yes, the gel pens really do suck. So I have no clue if anything will come from trying to learn to draw. You use the tools you have, but at a certain point, if you only have the one tool, it could hold you back a bit. I guess I'll see what happens. I never read much manga before either, but I have watched various anime series, and most of those are based on the manga books. So it seems like a nice way to get a little bit of that back again, and is at least more visually entertaining than a standard novel. That Jaws theme still makes my heart rate spike a little bit when I hear it. Absolutely iconic. But there are things in the movie that were different and better than the book for sure. But for most franchises, I would always recommend the book. There are some cases of really great books that have had terrible movies, have ter- that had terrible movies made that ruined the series or drove away some of the fan base, like Aragon. I'm still not over that one. Ugh. That's funny about the tape recorder by the TV. You do what you gotta do though. Yeah, watching MTV all afternoon or waiting till later and sneaking in some episodes of Beavis and Butthead or Aeon Flux and finding random marathons of old Godzilla movies. The 90s had some great TV, great toys, and snacks too. I remember Planters had these cookies that they called PB Crisp. They were these crispy and flaky cookie shells filled with the sweet peanut butter cream filling, and they were my favorite. And then they just stopped making them and stole a little bit of the joy from the world, in my opinion. Yes, Napster. Oh, okay, because the girl typed Nipster in the other one, but it's Napstar. Now that sounds familiar. Napster. Definitely changed things. I had so many burned CDs. Did you ever do that thing where you rig the CD player to run while the lid is open and then use colored markers to decorate the CDs with concentric circles while they were spinning? That was always fun. It's funny you should mention drinking from the hose. Just yesterday, I was drinking the juice they give you with food trays and thought to myself that it tasted like they made this batch with water from the hose because it had that distinct hose flavor under the juice flavoring. And then I wondered to myself how many of the younger generation would be able to identify that taste these days. To answer your question about the Warhammer minis, yes, you choose your own colors and you can paint them according to existing examples from the various and universe factions, which is what I typically did, but even doing that, I apparently had a distinctive style to my painting and according to commenters online. I used to post these finished minis online in Warhammer and mini painting Reddits and share methods and whatnot, which is common in the community. I don't know exactly what they meant or what made my specific methods or distinctive or style distinctive, but I guess even among some of my gamer groups, I was considered pretty good and even did some paid commissions. I also give some pretty sweet paint jobs to the newer Tamagotchis and had a lot of people offering me to paint theirs too. But I could never bring myself to do that. The price I would have to charge them for it would be for it to be worth doing for me didn't feel right, even though paying a decent painter is expected to be pricey. I still feel bad about asking for what a fair price is when you break down the time spent, cost of material, and skill involved. It's that you crochet and paint and wood burn. I used to wood burn a little bit when I was younger, but never got very seriously into it. What sort of stuff do you paint? I tend to approach crafts the same way you described. I will see something and wonder if I can do it and try to just see it. I've done that a lot, and some hobbies stuck with me more than others. I wonder if that's just like an ADD thing to do that with hobbies? Question mark. I miss Nintendo 64 as well. It had one of the weirdest controllers, but it was cool. You can still get them online, even still in the box for decent enough deals and vintage games to go with it. I miss Super Nintendo too, and that was so fun. My friend had one and we would jam out on Super Nintendo and Mountain Dew after school. He's so like this stuff they're talking about. I use LimeWire, but my oldest, yeah, you know how many computers we had to go through because of LimeWire in my household. Too many. I remember when the and I had every litter iteration of Game Boy over the years. I remember when the Game Pockets came out, it seemed so compact and slim. And then, of course, Game Boy Color came out and just blew us all away. Game Boy Advance was awesome too. I might even still have that one in storage somewhere. I miss the Game Boy. Nintendo Switch is amazing, but the Game Boy was just iconic and more portable, although running out of batteries became a crisis when that little battery light came on and you had to quickly figure out what device in the house you could steal batteries from and couldn't and get in the least trouble for it. Sandworms definitely do remind me of that movie Tremors, which is actually one of my favorite cheesy monster movies of all time. I or jailhouse food recipes are some of the strangest and most inventive things I have encountered. And I've heard that some people snort that coffee, and I agree that sounds terrible. Yes, I do watch the educational videos on mostly just things that interest me like history, music, and art. The radio is nice. Yes, Monsters is the morning show and News Junkie follows them, which is most like viral news stories. And I have heard some interesting things certainly, including talks about me, which is a weird experience. I hope my side of things can change some perceptions as well, maybe. What perception is changing in our minds from reading this? Nothing. You're delusional. Stephen Stearns. And allegedly speculating, I shall pull up your page and go look because I want to vomit everywhere. Um, Let me pull up the next batch. Oh, here we go. He says, wait, is that where we left off? 31. Yeah. Okay. This is Stefan Stearns continued. I can't believe this person is just full blown. Don't call me a liar. Not cool. Wait, who's liar? What's going on? Oh, you mean go after I think her name is I don't even know if that's the real name. Jessica? And blow things up and just I heard about that there's Maddie sweaters. I don't know what's going on, and it didn't excite me. Oh, Yeah, that's fine. Um, okay, he says, Congratulations. Can you see it? Oh, yeah, you guys can see this. Congratulations on being clean for 9 years. I'm glad you were able to get away from it. Too many people never have the ability to get off of it before it kills them. I lost friends to it myself, and it was a tragic thing watching that slide happen and trying to to them or help them, but they just didn't want help and wouldn't listen, and it kills them. I never touched stuff myself, though I had certainly my time with some other things in my younger party days. I never got hooked on anything and came out the other side in those days mostly okay. But some of the people in the social circles I partied with, not so lucky. These days, I might have a couple drinks, and I consider myself an advocate for medicinal and recreational MJ use. And I think naturally occurring things like that are generally okay in moderation. Even shrooms have their uses for treating depression and things. But as with everything, moderation is always key. Too much of almost anything becomes a bad thing. I wanna know what you would do back in your old days. Pig vomit? What sort of music do you listen to? I'm mostly into 80s music and classic rock, especially. How about movies? What sort of things do you do for fun or entertainment? I hope you don't get backlash for messaging me, but if you feel you can handle the potential for that and you are forewarned and don't mind the risk, then I can respect that. And I appreciate you talking to me and have enjoyed these chats as well. I know I tend to write a lot, so apologies for that. I didn't mean to overwhelm you with a whole novel every time I write back. If you'd like to keep writing me, I would like that too. I hope that I hear back, and don't worry if it takes a while for you to reply. There are times where I can't get the tablet anyways, sometimes for a day or two. So any delay on my replies, and that's why. I don't sweat the delays. It's not like I'm going anywhere right now, anyways, as much as I wish I was almost anywhere else. Take care, and I will keep an eye out for your messages. No, you're not getting out anyways. Wait, so this person who is talking this to Stephen Stearns also made merch with Maddie's face on it? If that isn't the biggest, most disgusting grift move that I've ever heard of on YouTube, I don't know what is. She had a live tonight and she covers this, but she's extremely upset. Why is she upset? What did we do? She was the one who did this. Nobody forced her to talk to a child predator, a child murderer. What is she upset about? Because people are finding out, and people who are vicious on this app too, they'll go real life. I won't. I don't give a shit, but I give a shit enough to read these. People are saying not her face. Profits and merchandise to honor Maddie were donated. There are receipts. So who got it? Jen? I don't buy that. No, that's a grift move for sure. Mm, okay, she says this is on April 11th, 2025 at 7:15 p.m. Um, hello again. August or April 11th. Is that Stefan Stern's birthday? A second birthday behind bars. That is a definition of worst birthday ever. Or second worst, I suppose. The first one was the worst. I think learning to draw will help you in the future. You can make pictures to sell or send to family, friends, and pen pals on special occasions. I can imagine manga will be a lot better than the standard graphic novel. Do you think your family has sent them and they may be in your property? I think Jaws may have been one of the first, if not the first iconic movie as far as thrillers go for that time period. Am I wrong in that assumption? I suppose when you read it through, tune plays in your head at the correct parts. I miss some of the iconic snacks and things from our childhood. Wait, I can't see. Okay, yeah, I can see now. 80s all day. She thinks someone doxed her. She says she's scared. Well, there's not. Oh, like separately, you mean? Yeah, because I didn't see anything in these messages doxing her yet. Um, do you think your family sent them in your property? Oh, we already read that. Am I wrong in that assumption? I suppose when you read through the tunes, it plays in your head at the correct parts. I miss some of the iconic snacks and things from our childhood. Those planter cookies sound right up my alley. I did not know that you could decorate CDs in the players while they were playing. If I had known about that hack, I surely would have gone in and used to walk around town and with my CD player in the back pocket of my Jinko jeans. Though you could practically fit the entire house in the pocket of those pants. It's crazy that you were just hosting, recalling the hosting. LOL, great minds think alike. I wonder what the statistics are that you would think that probably while I was writing it. I wonder what the statistics are that you would think that would probably while I was writing it. It's amazing that you were so hood with the Warhammer characters. I think if I tried to paint them, I would look like a dog tried to eat it. LOL. When painting Tamagotchis, can you pop the covers off? That would make it easier, but if I had to guess, probably not. LOL. I think the aspect of seeing things and just wondering if you can do it definitely is an ADD thing. I have painted pictures and the wooden disc things for Christmas ornaments, mostly things I see on Pinterest. I sell them sometimes at craft fairs, but my soaps, jellies, and medicinal herb salves do better. I had a Super Nintendo when I was small. It was my older brother's system. My favorite game was a duck shooting game and Mario Paint. They were fly swatting. There was what's supposed to say there. There was a fly swatting game on Mario Paint I loved. I wish I could just sit back and play without a care in the world. I did have a Game Boy Advance, but if I remember correctly, I didn't much care for it. Those battery symbols are crisis mode even nowadays with cell phones. LOL. I couldn't imagine hearing about myself on the radio. I know I would be dying to get my side out as well. I'm glad I got out of that life too, and I completely agree that naturally growing plants and mushrooms can be beneficial in moderation. I think there has been some amazing advancements made in those areas as far as use for treating depression and things of the sort. I listen to rock mostly, 90s. My favorite band is Alice in Chains. I bought a record player and bought their album Jar of Flies in the same day. My favorite songs are Rotten Apple and Nutshell. I love all musics from that era though. I like Pearl Jam, Metallica, Radiohead, all the way to Zeppelin and the Eagles, Pink Floyd, and just any music like that. I love the radio, so I know most of those songs by heart. My favorite Pearl Jam song is Why Go Home. Metallica, Bleeding Me, and Anesthesia from the early days. My favorite corn song is Blind, System of a Down, Toxicity, Blind Melon, I Wonder, and Galaxy. I could go on for days. LOL. I'd like to garden and be out in nature, go run. I have a paddle board I really enjoy, but I do things to get my medicinal herbs to use for soaps and medicine. I want to have a farm one day with a lot of animals and plants and food. So are these things like real about her? She's just making them up. I love Tetris. I heard that she said she was only doing it to investigate. I got BS. She's as sick as he is, and I don't even know who she is. Yeah, don't go over there. Real life is a thing against her kids. Oh. Yeah, I don't condone all that doxing stuff. That's actually a crime to an extent. Um, but she put herself out there. Not that she deserves it. No one does, but she is talking to a predator. Um, Off grid, preferably, I would ask you the same questions in return, she says. While I know it sucks being here, there is a reason. In my life, I look back and try to figure out what was the reason. Why did God want me there to go through that? There is always a reason. Maybe to catch up on some reading and learning, possibly slow down a bit. You're safe there, so that's a positive, I suppose. There's always a reason for life, things we go through to life. It's the weekend now, and I'm sure there will be some good shows on the radio. So you have that to look forward to. I hope to hear from you soon. Don't worry about how much you write. I enjoy it. I hope to hear from you soon. I think I forgot to talk about movies though. I don't watch a lot of movies really. I like horror movies, but my favorite movie is a movie called Girl Interrupted. Okay, bye. Oh, I love that movie. Okay. Pig Vomit says, "Oh, do you know who it was, Lisa?" It reminds me of when Jen Soto said, "Oh, it's my birthday tomorrow," and then started crying, didn't cry or over Maddie being dead. Yeah, Jen Soto is a monster. She needs to be arrested. Um, okay. Pig Vomit, Stefan responds and says, wait, is this not in order? Oh, there's one page missing here. Oh, page 37. Oh, I missed it. Oops. Okay. So here's 37. Sorry, I had to open it on a different window. Um, okay. So it says, Stefan says, "Hey, yeah, the first birthday in here was definitely the worst. They tried to make me go to an arraignment hearing that day. Luckily, my presence was not required, so I was able to refuse to go, but it still sucked. They seem to like to send a lot of people to court on their birthdays because I'm not the only one that seems to have happened to in here. Kind of messed up how this county does things like that. But it is what it is. Osceola County just sucks. My birthday is on the 25th this month, and I've got court on the 23rd. So I guess it could be okay or not, depending on how things go at court. I'm praying things will go well. It's no, it's funny you should mention God's purposes because I have thought about that a lot and asked myself many of the same questions that I'm sure you did during your various days. I heard one CO talking about it and I really liked his take on it. He said, God uses hardship as a vehicle to move us where we need to be in life, or something to that extent. I may be paraphrasing a bit, but yeah, you should be buried underneath the prison. That's where God is trying to move you to. I may be paraphrasing a bit, but I understand exactly what he means by it. If you're comfortable, you are less likely to make changes, even if you are not doing what you should be. But if you're experiencing discomfort and or hardship, you are more likely to want to change that situation and get on the right track again. I did imagine the Jaws theme while reading the book. I couldn't help myself. Oh, I couldn't help myself, lol. Even that gave me some anxiety. Sharks in general just. Okay, let me go to the next screen. Hi, Alexa. Says, in general, give me anxiety. And I have a lot of shark nightmares in here too, because I've had a lot of stress and anxiety. So my dreams decided to manifest with another thing that gives me anxiety. Thanks a lot, brain. Sharks blend multiple primal fears into one package: fear of the unknown, fear of drowning, fear of being eaten alive. So it's like this ancient primal thing in our subconscious as species, similar to crocodiles. And interestingly, both sharks and crocodiles are surviving leftovers that have been around from the age of dinosaurs and have remained mostly unchanged in that entire time because they are basically perfect in their design, which likely also explains the deep-seated primal fear they can evoke. And and yes, actually you can pop the shell off of a Tamagotchi to paint it, which is the best way to do a good job at it. Just because just use a small screwdriver to unscrew the case and remove the internals, and then you can paint the shell more easily. I used to post these paint jobs online and would get a ton of requests to make a tutorial for other Tamagotchi owners to do it themselves. I also made some occasional modifications on them, like installing higher capacity batteries in the newer rechargeable Tamagotchi models, but that only requires a soldering iron and some very basic soldering skill. For the Warm Hammer Minis, it's a learned skill like anything else, I suppose. My first minis were a bit crude, but over time you learn to apply new techniques, new paints, try new brushes and tools as you go. I also learned tips and tricks from videos and other community members online. Why is he obsessed with Tamagotchis? Oh, really? Lindsay Clancy? I need to watch today's. I don't know if it's true, but they were saying that she was putting money on his books. Yeah, well, people are foiaing this now and gonna get like everything that they can. Members online, and as I got better, I started sharing my own methods and shortcuts with people to help newer painters coming into the hobby behind me. To paraphrase a quote from Jake the dog in the show Adventure Time. Oh, Adventure Time. That reminds me of Steve Sharilla. Sucking at something is just the first step to being sort of good at it. One of my favorite things about collecting and painting minis or collecting Tamagotchis was sharing new paint jobs or new additions to my collections on Reddit or sometimes on various Facebook groups. The Tamagotchi subreddit is maybe one of the most wholesome and least toxic online communities you will find. I used to love sharing my collection and rare finds there. That's very cool that you make soaps and salves. There's definitely a market for those types of artisanal products. Do you ever sell online websites on like Etsy? I had a coworker who made soaps and she sold at craft fairs like you do, but also set up an online shop through her Instagram too, which was neat. It's cool that you like to paddleboard and be outside. I also enjoy nature. I can go for a hike and just be out in the woods for hours without seeing or speaking to another person and be perfectly content, just listening to the sound of the wind in the trees. I remember JNCO jeans. You could fit anything in those pockets. It was crazy. Probably could have fit your brother's Super Nintendo in the back pocket and still have some room left over. The weekends are good on the radio, and since you mentioned 90s music, which I also enjoy, the radio station that I listen to those talk shows on only plays them Monday through Friday, but on the weekends they pretty much just play 90 music, which is awesome. Living on a farm can be nice, but it's a lot of hard work. I know because when I was a kid, I lived on a couple's farm in northeastern Georgia. We had horses all throughout my childhood when I was growing up. I used to love riding horses, and the smell of horses still brings back fond memories. Sometimes I would walk out the pasture while they were grazing and hop on my own horse and just ride bareback and sit up on him while he walked around grazing. I think somebody mentioned this horse part. Thanks, Lisa, for being here. My kids had Tamagotchis. Yeah, I did too. The YouTuber's name is allegedly speculating. Lauren's ever changing face. Oh yeah. Okay, where did I leave off on? Mm, living on a farm can be nice. Oh, wait. Ride bareback and set up on him while he walked around grazing. I would sometimes lay down on his back and stare up at the clouds and talk to him. He's very big type of horse called Rhinelander, which is a German breed, and he was about 17 to 18 hands tall, which was a lot for an 11-year-old kid. LOL. Our property backed right up to the woods, just miles and miles of deep old Georgia woods. And sometimes I would walk out into those woods with nothing but some snacks and a compass, and I'd be gone all day to try to get back before it got dark. I like horror movies too, but usually like creature flicks, you know? I do like movies a lot, action, adventure, especially comedy, as you already know. I do like books, but sometimes it's hard to find the time unless you happen to be in jail. But if reading makes you sleepy or you can't fit it into your schedule, audiobooks are a great alternative. If you use the Audible app, you can find practically any book there, and they often have celebrity narrators reading them. That's one thing I enjoyed, putting on an audiobook and listening while I painted minis. You could do that while working on your own crafting projects and mine being ADD, it satisfies the compulsive need to multitask and allows your brain to sort of be occupied by the narration and observe that info while you zone out and physically occupy yourself with your project. Ready Player One was a favorite audiobook because it was narrated by Will Wheaton. And in fact, I think Wheaton actually narrated all of Ernest Cline's audiobooks, if I recall correctly. You could really try some audiobooks as you craft or even on long drives or whatnot. It's very nice to let someone else do the reading while you just listen. LOL. Other ways I like to entertain myself are video games. I have enjoyed them ever since I received an original Nintendo Entertainment System for my 6th birthday. LOL. So, still a video gamer? I also have mentioned that I enjoy tabletop games like Warhammer 40,000 or Battletech. I first got into Battletech when I was maybe around 12 years old, and I just finally started dipping my toes into playing D&D before I got locked up. I especially like Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. I especially like tabletop gaming for the social aspect of it. I was starting to feel a bit isolated sitting at home playing video games and decided to take up tabletop gaming as a way to get out, go someplace and have a face-to-face interactions and play games with people who have similar interests and hobbies. I have really met some of my friends as a 30 something adult too. I also like board games for the same reason. You can have friends get together and maybe have some drinks or maybe make snacks, play some games, and just hang out and socialize without putting too much pressure on anyone to hold up a lot of conversation. Well, you could have been doing this, Stefan, if you didn't grape and kill a child. Oh, yeah, I saw that too. I want to review it. Um, He says the board games provide a kind of focus for people too. I think that is such a great business idea. I love classic arcade games, so being able to a bar and drink a beer or cocktail while jamming out on games from the old days sounds fun. Well, got away from this message got away from me a little. Got really long before I even realized it. Geez, sorry, I keep throwing almost a whole novel at you every time. They are doing haircuts today in the pod, so I'm going to try to get mine cut. Nothing fancy, of course, just a standard correctional clipper cut. But I'll probably have it pretty short today, so it has some time to grow out a little before court on the 23rd. There are always cameras and media there, so I don't want to look shaggy or wild when I go in. Take care. Yeah. You still look like shit, Stefan. Actually. Um, okay, let me pull up the next batch. So 42. So she's gonna respond now. This is allegedly speculating on YouTube. Do not support her. She likes pedos. Um, okay. So this is her responding now. And now she's upset, but she sent all of these messages. Makes no sense. Oh, these are out of order. Um, okay, I think it's fine now. So this is her responding. Stefan, okay, April 14th, 10:39 a.m. Hey, I wanted you to know I had two craft fairs this weekend and I have some things I'm doing today as well. I learned the email and saw that you're getting a haircut. The standard correction facility type, LOL. I wonder if that's the same as the military haircuts. LOL. I'm going to write back as soon as I sit down and read everything. I made goat's milk lotion that was a hit. My landlord has a goat and her daughter, and I share responsibilities on milking. I'm sending you credits to write back, but I haven't actually written back yet. This is just to say hey, and I'm writing back. I didn't forget. Talk to you soon. So that's on April 14th, and then there's April 15th. Hey, Crystal. I used to be sub to Jessica, but not after all this crazy ass shit. Oh, hell no. Really? I had never even heard of her. Like, we're missing important emails or something. I feel like there's huge gaps in this conversation. Mm, kind of. Yeah. Well, if there's more, they're gonna come through in the FOIAs. Okay, so wait, what day was this? 14th, 15th. Hey, oh my goodness. I'm sorry I had been so busy lately. This is her. I did good at the craft fairs. I then had to milk goats, and then my landlord has me helping her clean a house and taking care of her chickens. So I haven't had a minute to sit down. I used to ride horses when I was young. My neighbor had horses and would let me ride. I love the freedom of it. I never rode bareback. I would love to have a farm one day. I love animals and making things from nature, the old ways. I have tried to sell on Etsy occasionally, but not much. I like to let people try my products to see if they like them. I miss my Junko jeans, and I had a pair of parachute pants that were like bell bottoms. They are 62 inches across the bottom of each leg. Will Wheaton reads audiobooks now. LOL. How intrigue. Isn't that the guy from a popular movie that Sheldon was always fighting with? Drinking in arcade games sounds fun, but I never really got into drinking. I tried to use a soldering iron once and failed miserably. I need some lessons. LOL. It's interesting that shares and Crocs haven't changed much over the years. I do remember reading that somewhere. They do have the perfect design. I remember reading somewhere that God's favorite creature was what sounded like a dinosaur to me. Anyways, it's in the Bible somewhere. I have been around a ton of Dungeon and Dragons players, but I've never played. I don't know that I could grasp the concept. I like the dice though. I will look into audiobooks. How are you feeling about court on the 23rd? If you don't want to answer, I understand. I'm sure you're nervous. I know they recently denied the motion to block the media, as I'm sure you're aware. So I suppose during trial, you'll be on TV. Do you know if your family will come? I know your parents love you very much, so I'm sure they will be there. I appreciate you writing a lot when you write me. You're a very interesting and intelligent person. Do you like to do you talk to the church people when they come on? I used to enjoy that. We didn't have radios. We would have people send us song lyrics and to sing them high pitch and out of tune. LOL. I would have died to have a radio. Has anything interesting happened since we last talked? When you get a when you get recreation, what is that? Do you get to go outside? Do you get to go outside at all in like the caged in area? I hope you at least get some sunshine. We all need a little vitamin C. I'm sure you look nice with your new haircut. Ew. Keep up your faith and hope. I hope to hear from you again soon. No, he looks disgusting with his haircut. And this is her again. Hey, I just sent my last message was sent COD, so I bought more credits. If you're not able to open it, let me know and I will send it again. I'm sending the credits for you to write back. I hope your day is nice and you have a reason to smile. Oh, so she is giving him money to communicate. Who wants to? Yeah, I don't know what those are, Melissa. Like, what are those? The jeans. There's another name for them. Wow, what deep correspondence. I know. Mm, okay, and then she says, "Oh my god, I just wrote an entire email. I went to push send and it all deleted. I'm cussing. LOL. I sent a photo. It's from 2003 when I was like 18 or 19. I do not have a lot of recent photos. I don't wear makeup and put my hair in pretty much a messy bun every day. So I always feel like I'm not really photogenic. And I always decline the offer when it arises. I'm about to voice text this and I have a heavy southern accent. So if you read it out loud, you should probably be able to understand it because I just wrote about that whole email and it deleted. So now I'm angry. When I voice text, it puts periods and things in weird places. So just disregard that you asked if there's any TV shows I watch. I don't really watch TV. I watch YouTube ironically, but I did just watch a series about Charles Manson. I really got into that story because I don't understand how you could take a bunch of flower, child, love, trusting peace hippies and make them do what he did. I understand that there was acid and drugs involved and things like that. And I suppose, I mean, if you consider things like MK Ultra and what they did with the acid, and like if you get somebody tripping, you go in there and you're like, putting all those thoughts and ideas in their head. Maybe, but like I've said from the beginning, I've always wanted to be like the person who goes in interviews, people who do things like that because it interests me. Like I want to know what in Charles' mind made him do what he did. I understand it was the helter skelter and the racing, but was it just the drugs or was it something deeper in him? You know what I mean? So get into stuff like that. Wait, is that the right page? Oh yeah. So get into stuff like that. Recently, I have FOIA FDLA case out of New Mexico from 2016, and I've been looking over those stocks. I like to FOIA stuff. Didn't mean to scream at you. I made a capital so that I could type FOIA and crazy, like I said. It's just a voice text. So yeah, this case, I did New Mexico from 2016 is just absolutely crazy. So I've been reading that over in the down kind of into that stuff. I saw that you got, well, we'll start with the haircut and feeling like a plucked chicken. LOL. That's gotta suck. How do they keep it really colder there to keep bacteria and viruses down? It will have some time to grow out. But I saw that you have a court date at 1115 on Tuesday, and it's a hearing continuance for April 23rd charge. So if they broadcast it, it's with the pink highlighted, it's like hard for me to see. So if they broadcast it, I'll be looking for you. I'm so glad that you finally got some mega in the cell, and now you have that. Does she mean manga? And now you have that drawing book. You said you could lay some paper over the images in the book and work on tracing it and then go from there and draw it. You could probably send those pictures to people and like make money or something. I mean, I'm sure you could, especially if you practice and get really good at it. I saw that you said when you go out in the yard, people will crowd around you like you're an animal in the zoo. I'm really curious about this. Do they want to jump you, Stefan? I hope so. Do they have the same charges as you? No, they didn't probably kill children. Maybe some of them did. As you did they ask you questions? Do they pick on you while I'm sure you don't know their charges, but like I'm wondering, while the crowd around you, they know who you are? And I'm sorry, that's gotta really suck, but you need to go outside because the sunlight on your skin will make you feel better. Oh, I'll have to look that up, Melissa. Mm, believe it or not, I do gardens to grow my own food so that I have healthy food to eat and can in the winter because there's something like food that you grow yourself. Because there's nothing like food that you grow yourself. So I spend a lot of time outside and I used to stay inside a lot and I was really depressed. And I've noticed that going outside makes me happy. And I mean, you said that you like hiking and things like that. So I'm sure you know. That's even just the sun touching your skin a little bit will make you feel better. So tomorrow is Easter, and I hope you have a nice Easter. I know it won't be a happy one. I remember when I was locked up on holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and things. We got little special things on our tray, like for Thanksgiving. They would give us turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and a little bit of stuff and things like that. Also, and like a roll, I mean, for being in jail, it was nice, right? So I'm wondering, do they do that for y'all? Are you gonna get maybe some ham tomorrow on your tray for Easter? What I'm gonna do is read the crucifixion story out of the Bible just to kind of show some respect to God, and I wanted to let you know. I miss your birthday. It is a few days, though I'm by no means a perfect Christian. I cuss like a sailor, and my southern accent actually gets worse the angrier I get. LOL. Like I said, I'm by no means a perfect person, but I try to show respect when I can. And just in case you didn't have any ideas for what you could do tomorrow, I thought I'd give you that one. When is your birthday? It looked up. It looked a happy belated birthday. I know it wasn't very happy, but either way, happy birthday. I know you're excited about having manga comics to look at now. That should keep you busy. I think you also had mentioned you had a picture and maybe send me one. And I'm kind of concerned that people can FOIA who you send mail to, but I don't know. Maybe you could attach it to this, and I don't know how that works with your tablet, and attach it to this email. So she is worried about the FOIA getting out. Maybe send me a picture of your manga. Sure, I don't know. Either way, I'm probably going to get cut off soon. Try to have a good day. This was a voice text and I have a heavy southern accent. So if it's weird, just read it out loud. LOL. I hope to see you Tuesday and or Wednesday. Keep your chin up and I hope to hear from you soon. Try to have a good day. She says I hope to see you Tuesday and or Wednesday. Like visiting? I don't know who this creator is, allegedly speculating. Does she live in Florida? That's weird. She's gonna go visit? So what page is that? We're on page 51. I wonder if she's watching. Can my whispering voice? Okay, let me see. So 51. Okay, let's read one more by him. Ew. She better not be visiting him. What the hell? That's not good, you guys. Okay, so sorry, they all come separated. We'll do one more message from him. Okay, this is from April 15th. Looking beyond. Allegedly crummy. Yeah, we don't do crummy here. But okay, let's see. April 15th. This is all from pig vomit. What? I see a picture. Okay, we'll have to get to that. Ooh, this is gonna be juicy. Okay. He says, "Hey, I'm glad to hear things went well for you at the craft fair, and that makes sense that you like to let people try before they buy. That's cool. That's so great that you help with the goats and chickens, and I know what you mean. The chickens alone are enough to keep you busy. That's awesome that you have rode horses when you were younger. It really does give you a sense of freedom and the level of trust that exists between you and this huge animal with a mind of its own. I'm I'm a total animal lover too." Yes, Will Wheaton was the guy that Sheldon always had a feud with on the Big Bang Theory TV show. He's pretty well-known celebrity in the nerdy communities and got his star on Star Trek. TNG. Dungeons and Dragons is pretty interesting. I also like the dice, LOL. And it does have a nice social aspect to it. Soldering does take some practice, that's for sure, but it's a nice skill to learn so you can make minor repairs to your own electronics when the need arises. Like when a wire comes loose, you can solder it back into place. I have saved myself some money on more than one occasion by being able to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna FOIA these. I'm curious. I heard that she told him she did not have a YouTube channel that her friend did. I don't know. That's what I heard too. That's a lot of emailing. I know. It is. Okay. He says, "Yes, I am nervous about the 23rd just because you kind of never really know how these things will go and the stakes are high. Yes, the media will certainly be there considering the stink they made about the attempts to close the pretrial proceedings. So, yes, it will be on the news and the internet by that afternoon or the next day, I'm sure. No, my family probably won't be there because they had to have move away and leave the state due to all of the threats they were receiving and the stalking. They were showing up at their old house, but they will be with me in spirit. That's funny that you would sing out your lyrics like that. The radio is just a little handheld radio with earbuds. It runs on AA batteries and it's nice to have. It also has a clock function, which is useful. Oh, I'm glad you don't mind my lengthy messages. I enjoy reading yours too. I did my haircut, but they took it really short with the number one guard, and now my head is just cold. LOL. I don't know if it looks all that good. No, it doesn't. Stefan, you look disgusting. But it is what it is. I kind of feel like a plucked chicken. Haha. At least I got it done a couple weeks in advance to give it a little time to grow back out. Random question. Would it be okay if you sent me some pictures of yourself? You don't have to if you're not comfortable with it. I'll understand. I just would like to be able to see and visualize who I'm talking to. And you obviously have access to many of my social media pics online, although my mugshot really sucks, but that's a whole thing. It's up to you. I am enjoying talking to you either way and won't be put off if you say no. Not much new has happened, although I did finally receive some manga in the mail today, a few issues of Naruto, so that's nice. Yes, I do occasionally get some rec time outside. And yes, it usually is in the cage, which I don't really like because when I'm in that cage, they let other people out in the main yard. And those people tend to crowd around my cage, and it makes me feel like an animal in the zoo. I prefer if they let me out after everyone else has already had their rec time so I can walk the main yard alone. But that's only happened twice. So I just don't go out unless I can go in the main yard alone, which is not very often. I think I've been outside for rec maybe of 4 to 5 times in total. I'm trying my best to stay positive and maintain my faith and patience. It gets hard. Every day is a fresh test of that, but I am trying. Are there any kinds of TV shows you like to watch? Binging any good series? And yes, you should definitely check out audiobooks. It's a great way to fit books into your day while you multitask with other things, which is very satisfying from an ADD standpoint, too. Okay, I will wrap it up for now and hope to be here back soon. Take care. And then she doesn't respond yet. And he says, Hey, oh, she must have responded then. That's cool. I look forward to seeing that pic you sent, but don't feel too self conscious about yourself. I often feel like I'm not, or maybe they're just not in order. I often feel like I'm not very photogenic either. My older photos from 2003 to 2004 were much better too, I feel. But at the same time, I don't really look like I did back then. I was super skinny back then and still had that Southern California bro looking look going. Just be yourself, no worries. No, you didn't miss my birthday. It's actually coming up on Friday the 25th. I'll be 39 years old that day. Oof. One more year till the big 4-0. As far as getting anything special on our trays for Easter. I doubt it. Osceola County Jail is well, it's a crap hole. There's just no other way to say it nicer than that. This is probably one of the worst county jails in Central Florida, if not then the whole state. It's filthy, run down, and overcrowded and understaffed and very poorly managed. Haha. Good. You deserve it. As far as special holiday meals for Thanksgiving, we got nothing special and the kitchen staff went home early. So we all got for dinner was bologna sandwiches and it was the same on Christmas. I'm guessing it will be the same tomorrow. And since they will be short staffed all weekend, you can bet everyone will be locked down all weekend and pissed off too. Yeah, the haircut was a bit shorter than I would prefer, not bald, but like a step above that. I assume they keep it cold to keep down bacteria, but it's filthy in this place anyway. So who knows? And during the winter, they kept the AC blasting on full, so it was freezing in the cells. You had people covering the vents with toilet paper, and I was wearing two thermal shirts and staying under my blanket the whole time. It was bad. My hair has had time to grow back a bit, so it's a little better now, but I will not take it quite so short next time if I can help it. Thanks for the heads up about court on Tuesday. My lawyer said they were trying to get a hearing for a continuation, but I wasn't sure if they got it or not. So that answered my question. And yes, you can be sure it will be broadcast. Every time I go to court, it ends up on the news or internet by the end of that day or the next one. That sounds interesting about 2016 case you FOIA'd. What kind of case was it? New Mexico has some really beautiful countryside out there. I'd like to visit there someday. That's funny that you mention your accent coming out more when you get mad. I too have a bit of a southern accent, and while I have spent a long time suppressing it, it does tend to come out when I get excited or get mad or get loud. Does he not imagine that he could probably and most likely is going to die in there? Like either he's gonna die or of old age or sickness or someone's gonna take him out. And I still say certain words in a southern way. People do not like chomos. And I still say certain words in a southern way, like pronouncing or like oil or saying I'm fixin' to do this or that. And of course, I still slip up and say y'all sometimes. You can't spend as many years in Georgia and Florida as I did and not end up talking with a bit of twang. And my mom was from North Carolina, so she certainly has that same kind of accent that you probably do. Whereas mine is more of a watered down version of North Georgia accent with hints of Florida sprinkled in. I just normally don't relax my speech enough to let it out much. To answer your question about going outside in the cage, yes, they know who I am because they see my face on the TV in the dorms. And yes, they do sometimes throw me things as well through the cage because that's the sort of thing it just isn't what I wanna deal with while I'm trying to get fresh air and sunshine. They don't have the same charges, but many felons or court charges. I'm in C-Pod or Charlie floor. Everyone in this section of the jail are facing serious time for serious charges. So over here, you have violent crimes, armed robberies, murders, SEX offenders, serious trafficking, all the charges that come with 10 plus years typically. And within this pod, there are about 5 separate housing dorms and then 2 specific isolation cells in the dorms. I'm one I'm in one of the isolation cells. Yes, it's nice to have some manga in my cell now. The artwork is nice and having something visual is a nice change. I still have a lot of practice to do before I can come close to drawing stuff like that. If I ever can get to that point, I would be happy to try to draw something for you, but like I said, I suck right now and have a lot of work before I even get remotely good. I can send some pictures and with some patience and effort, reproduce it in a reasonably passable form. However, I'm not sure how I would send it since I can't take photos on the tablet or when I have to be a physical letter. And like you, I also worry about people getting info on where I send things. I wouldn't want you getting doxxed like that if it can be helped. And of course, if there is money or poor parents just received just for being associated with me, well, they had to move away. And there are some really unstable people out there with really unhealthy hobbies. It's pursuit, no need to worry about that for now. But I still suck at drawing anyway. LOL. Okay, and she sends a photo. I don't know if that photo is like real or what. I couldn't even see it because it's so blurry. Um, Dang. We're not even halfway through these emails. I'm gonna do a FOIA. Unhealthy hobbies? Yeah, like raping a child isn't unhealthy. He is so dead. She is married? From what I understand, there's a ton of channels that are reading these and she's freaking out. Really? I wonder if her husband reviewed all the emails before she sent them or was it done behind his back? She's married and was talking to Stephan Stearns. That is actually wild. Well, if it's fake, then her husband would know, right? Yeah, I'm gonna FOIA the rest of them. Imma try to get, like, the actual files, find out what's real and what's not, or what's missing and what's not missing. I've only seen a few channels reading it, she's going back over All her messages freaking out, thinking, "Okay, which ones are bad? How can I explain it to them when I ask about them?" Hmm. Oh, an animal lover turned animal in a zoo karma nerd way. Yeah, exactly. Just wait till you get to prison. Me? Or her, you mean? I'm not getting to prison. Okay, we're gonna end it there for today. So tomorrow I'm gonna schedule another live of these readings. I'm gonna do a FOIA. I'll show you guys a copy of that. I'm gonna do a FOIA tonight, and then I'm gonna continue Kenzie Sharilla trial. I want to finish the trial before I jump back into the text. Yes, I am jumping back into them. There's some stuff I need to look for. Um, Allegedly speculating pen pals with a predator, Stephan Stearns. Shall I look this page up real quick? Let's see. She gonna disable her page? Oh, I'm assuming this is it. Don't support. I hope this is it. Wait, it says she hasn't been live. So where was she live on? Ooh, if she did phone calls, we can try to get those too. Oh no, girl. I just don't understand why she did it though. I guess for views, but girl, those are not the views you want. I don't see that she had a live. So where was she freaking out? Check for phone calls. I will. I don't even see. She was live. I saw it. So she took it down? The live isn't there. It says the last time she was live was a month ago. She deleted it. Why? Why is she scary? Why is she being scary? Oh, she has a second channel? I don't even know. That's wild. Let's go look at that one. We're being nosy now. Wait, is that her in the picture? No way. She says, I will be live on allegedly speculating. Oh, yeah. So she was. Yeah, that's what I'm reading the emails. Oh, so she dirty deletes. Thank you, Angelina. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it is her with the bandana. She dirty deletes the lives. Damn. That's when you know you're doing something wrong. She deleted it. Yeah. Wow. He's probably laying down right now thinking about her. Ew! Disgusting. Listen, I don't care how many views I'm gonna get. I am not talking to a child killer slash predator. Allegedly speculating, that's dirty work. Mm-mm. You don't deserve to be on here. He only wants to go outside when he's by himself because he knows he's gonna get his ass beat. He's gonna get jumped by the other inmates. I'm telling you, they probably have been waiting to do it, but since he's always in isolation and protective custody or whatever. Um, he has her pick. Gross. If it's the Google Drive that Pino had, they locked it. Wait, they locked it while he was on? She loves horseback riding. Horseback riding a predator? That's fucking nasty. Wait, I have them though. I saved everything. Yeah. No dirting deleting with me, ma'am. No, no. And I am good at getting FOIAs. I get them all the time for lots of cases. I actually just got a big file for a case that I'm going to talk about. So I'll try to get what I can. Wait, so were people live and people were live reading them and they locked it? No. Ooh, the tea is hot tonight. Well, I have them all. Let's see how many I have here. There's over 200. No, there are others who are calling her out like you, so thank you. Oh, yeah. We do not support pedos. Not at all. Mm-mm. That's crazy. She's trying to delete everything. They went to reopen it and just Jones, I don't know who that is. Locked the Google Drive that she had sent them. No. I knew that was gonna happen. That's why I saved them all. Wait, let me go back and see if it's locked on my end. Someone sent it to me. Or that's wild. Not you dirty deleting, allegedly. Speculating. Mm. Oh my god, it is. They locked it. Dude. Nelly like, I got him and you don't. I'm about to FOIA them all too. And they better be motherfucking real. And there better not be anything missing. Shit. Them shits better be real when I get them through because there's gonna be problems. Not with me, but with others. You can't go to prison. Then who would you can't go to prison, then who would read these? Dude, not a bitch who dirty deletes. That's the worst. Dirty deleting. I only dirty delete some after darks where I know like I took my shirt off or I was drinking way too much. You better work. She was supposed to be live tonight. I think people said she was and she dirty deleted. Neither can I, like, shake my head. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I don't like know who a lot of these channels are, but I just know that you're talking to Stephan Stearns. She puts all of it behind a paywall earlier this week. Oh, so she a real grifter. A real grifter. I wonder who saved them. Am I the only one that saved them? I think other people probably saved them. No? Who else has been reading them? She could have picked a million other things. Dude, you could have just shown your titties on here or tried to, or like feet pics or something. I'm not down for what she did. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You're with JLR now, allegedly speculating. You are with JLR in that bucket. And I have gone in on JLR here too. We do not like JLR. I have a JLR playlist if you guys are interested. You crack me to fuck up. Wait, I want to know. Did everybody get a copy of them? If you didn't, holler at me. Holler at your girl. That is funny. Not a bitch too dirty delete. Yeah, she does. What's the name of her s whose second child? Oh, her second channel? Ew, I don't even wanna promote because I don't support pedophiles. Allegedly speculating, and then she has another one, I think, allegedly Krama? Yeah, I'm that's where I got him, white boy. But that's how he had them, so I don't know if he downloaded them. Listen, the FOIA records better not be worse than those. I swear. I swear. And if she's lying, that's gonna be a problem. Literally laughing so hard, and my boyfriend's like, "Aren't you watching a true crime show?" Queen Bee, they're the ones who read it too. Oh, yeah, I used to go into Queen Bee's. I haven't been over there in a while. I don't know who the others are. I know, but yeah. She said FOIA them. Who did? They will K him, not beat him up. Yeah, with a homemade weapon. Queen said, "Hey." Is Queen on right now? Let me go see. No, she was on earlier. Of course they got them. It's just absolutely disgusting. Shake my head like, I can't get over it. Girl, you could have done many things for views except talk to someone who fucking raped Maddie Soto for hundreds of years. Well, I'm exaggerating. It was like 5, 6. And then kills her and throws her in the woods like she's just fucking trash. Mm-mm. No, that's dirty, nasty, disgusting, throwing up, vomiting, nauseous, all of the above. Hi, Queen Bee. Let's go. Yeah, okay, I will, I will. I'll try to do a FOIA to make sure everything aligns, if we can. There are so many levels of disgusting. Don't forget driving her around. Stern's dating his mom too. Oh, yeah, I'm sure UTS ate her up last night. Zofran. Allegedly said you can find them. I didn't send him any money. I just paid for him to email back. Girl, what pictures did she send? Who's that? Is that her in the picture? She looks rather young. Doubt that's how young she is. Who is that in the pictures? Is that her? Hmm. If it's not and it's someone underage, that could be a possible problem. Let me see. I'll pull it up. Yeah, who is this? Who is that? That looks like a 15-year-old girl. I'm not gonna show it. You guys already saw it, but thanks for being an equal opportunity platform. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you, babes. She sent him a pic of her as a teen. You're trying to get his attention by sending him a picture of you as a teen? That's fucked up. That's fucking disgusting. Wow. Okay. Well, I got some work to do. I'll try to submit a FOIA. If not, I can go to Plunder. Paula's my girl. Plunder gets Foyas on fucking the donkeys and the ants. So if I struggle, I could maybe have her assist. Yep, like I said, so many levels of vomit. Yeah, disgusting. Ah, girl, you need help. You have after darks. We do have after darks where we just talk shit and hang out. That pic looked like it was from 1979. Are we doing more Lindsay Clancy? Yeah, I did want to cover. I can't. I can't get behind anything with children or minors. I can't. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much dick you got. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much clout you have. I don't get behind abusing children, hurting children or animals. And the fact that you would even send a picture of yourself as a teen, um, not cool. Not cool. There's so many people you could reach out to or killers. Yeah, let her know because some of the FOIA from the case came from. Oh, we have Stephan Stern's FOIAs. Not like recent stuff, but yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah, that's really bothersome. It's just weird. Same with that Chris Watts bitch. Whoever she's like getting married to Chris Watts. Oh hell no. Someone needs to find her too. What's her name? Lizzie? Bitch, you ain't Lizzie McGuire. I don't know why you up there all up in Chris Watts' pants. Like, you think you're the shit. Is that her name? Lizzie? Anyways, yeah. I'm telling you. People are losing their goddamn minds. Okay. Plunder found her. Exactly. Plunder finds, I told you, the donkeys, the ants, the worms. Plunder be finding everyone. Like when you meet somebody on a dating app, you go meet them and they're 20 years old. Girl, I don't do dating apps. So if you see me on there, know it's fake. Fake ass pages. I don't do no dating apps. And I got blocked on Tinder one night. I don't know, like years ago. I think I put like a noodle up there, if you know what a noodle is. Or something, not exactly, but like it was like a skimpy pic. And then they were like, bye, banned for life. Note to self, watch Melly's After Darks. Okay, I'm done taking my shit. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I might come back tonight if you guys are up. Lindsay Clancy was short today, so yeah, no hiding. Not when you got YouTube streets now on YouTube. I used Tinder once and I'm still with that guy 8 years later. Wow, Melissa. That's amazing. An almost noodle. Yeah, an almost noodle. I thought that's what Tinder was for. Like putting pics up and stuff. Provocative. No? Okay. Well, that's why I'm banned for life. Also check email. Okay. Okay. I will see you guys maybe tonight. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll get caught up on Lindsay, but I might be back tonight. But we'll continue these Stephan Stearns. I'm going to submit a FOIA. We'll continue these tomorrow, and we'll continue Mackenzie Shirla. Probably she'll come back. Yeah, I need to eat something. I'm kind of hungry. It's 9:00 p.m. here. So let me eat something, and maybe we can do, I think Lindsay was like 2 or 3 hours. So just keep your eye on the lookout. See everyone tomorrow. Everyone except allegedly speculating who likes pedos. But anyways, all right. Catch you on the flip side. Thanks for being here. Make sure you tap the like button. Bye.